Alright. We're gonna make one. I waited on the first blog because it was such an egregious list of changes. We almost knew there was gonna be a second set of changes. Funnily enough, I almost agreed with the entire first blog, but I do get why they went back on it. You can see we're sitting here at the Salvaging post all of the updates. It's December 5th now. I was sitting here salvaging on a hook, not double pulling it, while editing a thumbnail, not paying attention. I noticed I was standing still for several minutes at a time, not touching my extractor. And let me just sort of salvage so I can highlight the XP per hour instead of waiting for an XP drop. You can see I'm at like 97k XP per hour, just chilling, very much not paying attention. So salvaging is very much back. And it's even easier than before, because most of the XP is from the salvaging. You don't have a big 30% chunk of your XP coming from the crystal extractor. It's only about 10 or 15%. So, like, you can get most of your XP from just actively doing the skill. So I do like that that is the state that we're in. That's what we ended up at. Salvaging is still broken, don't get me wrong. Like, most people are getting their 99 sailing without doing a lot of interactive sailing much at all. The 25-minute AFK with just leaving your PC and getting a ton of XP, that was the biggest culprit of just people training sailing without actually doing any sailing. And I think you don't want that for a brand new skill that's fancy and new and everyone wants to enjoy the new stuff. Like, they put a lot of work into it, so you don't want like a big chunk of the player base just sitting at one method that's so powerful that you almost might as well do it. Like, the 25-minute logouts, just get free XP, don't pay any attention, play other games, work on, you know, whatever in your real life. It was just way too strong, so I'm happy that is still gutted. However, regular salvaging is so back. There were a few changes that they addressed pretty quickly, which is awesome in terms of the double salvage spots. So they initially added more double salvage spots so that you could double salvage at all the locations. However, this raised an issue of you didn't actually have an active ship as much if you're standing in one spot. So they changed it so we have one more active ship at all the locations at all times. So it's back to kind of normal. If you're in a high population world, you don't really need to move at all, and you can constantly be salvaging without any issues. I've built my dragon hook here. I don't really feel any difference or seem to feel any difference, but it looks way cooler, so obviously we had to build it for our salvaging. But overall, thoughts after the two back-to-back blogs. I think they're heading in the right direction. They're making changes and then listening to feedback. I might not agree always with the widespread community feedback. I think the baby raging for the salvaging was a bit much, but they did go a little bit overboard, to be fair. Like, some of it is warranted, but I think people have a tendency to cry way too much in this game. But I think overall, the fact that they're releasing a patch and then not waiting until the next Wednesday to address any issues with it, that's a good sign. Because I think if we had a week of people crying on the Reddit, me personally, I wouldn't have been able to take it. It's too much. People just need to learn to play the game and shut up sometimes. It's brand new. There's going to be some kinks to work out. It just is what it is. I think we all need to take a step back and be a little bit less invested mentally. But that's just me. If you don't think you're invested mentally at all and you're absolutely mauling over the salvaging changes, then damn, bro, I'm sorry you were upset for a few days. But me personally, I was just waiting for them to do some kind of adjustment to the changes. We all knew it was going to happen. If you didn't know it was going to happen, you just haven't been paying attention to the way Jagex has been handling things over the past 2 to 3 years. They used to be very much, we're going to do it our way, and you're going to like it. And now they are very much, we're going to do it your way no matter how you ask, and if you're an Iron Man, we'll add everything that you want to make your life easy, and if you don't know how to wipe your ass, we'll do it for you. And don't worry, we made sure your shoes are Velcro, so you don't need to remember to tie them. Like, they hold our hands with everything. They make everything very, very easy and accessible and juicy. And the more we complain about things, the more they cave. So if you are one of those baby ragers, just know it works. I'm making fun of you guys, but it very much does work. Jagex loves to cave to public pressure in terms of game updates, especially when it seems to be very widespread. And if you know Reddit, everything seems to be a widespread opinion because the most vocal posters are usually the dumbest ones and have the silliest takes, and then it seems like everyone has this opinion. But it really is just a vocal minority in most situations, and then in some situations like this salvaging one, it was decently reasonable, although holy shit, you guys freaked out. You guys absolutely lost it, so maybe like rein it in a little bit. But other than that, I think the main group of changes, it's sad to see no boat combat addressed in this blog. However, it's almost a good thing. There was no, like, quick, we're just gonna make 1-2 changes in, like, the formula for the combat, or we're just gonna up the damage of cannonballs. I think they need to kind of do an overhaul, not necessarily from the ground up, but it's more than just 1 week's worth of changes that they need to make for the combat stuff. I've been doing a bunch of the bounty tasks and really enjoying them and trying to clog the miscellaneous section, but really it feels empty currently. It feels like I'm doing it just to get the collection logs, and it's just like a means to an end. It doesn't feel like I'm actively doing a real task, and any of the real boat combat feels particularly bad. Boat food is very hard to come by or very expensive if you want to make it. Monsters that do hit you really damn hard, otherwise they just hit you for zeros. There's no real in-between. So I would like them to do a proper blog addressing all of that stuff. But other than that, I'm happy with the progress. I'm still having fun sailing. We are 90 sailing right now, working our way to 91. The past 3 levels, or 2.5 about, I've gotten entirely passively from the bounty tasks, trying to get the Bottled Storm and the other collection logs. So we're going to continue doing that for the next couple of days to try and finish that off before we lock into some other methods to get to 99. But I hope you enjoyed this little yap. I'm going to get back to the salvaging. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And if you want to come see any of this live, we are live every single day at twitch.tv/2factorrs. Drink some water, touch some grass, and kiss a homie, boys. You can forget the first 2, though. I'll see you in the next one.